Okay, we're just going to start. So like I said, it's going to be recorded. So if you don't want to be on camera, you can turn it off now. Okay, so obviously, hi, my name's Miss Nicholas. We've got Mr. Freeman here, who is our student teacher, and he's going to be with us all the way through to July. And also Mr. Joshi, who's our teaching assistant. Open this up so I can actually see what's going on. Okay, so just how it's going so far. Obviously, they've all settled in, and yeah, they're doing really well. It's actually the last term of year 4 now, so you can see the big jump that they've made from year 3 to year 4. One person's coming in. And yeah, they are ready. They're getting closer and closer to being ready for year 5. So it's a really good thing. Okay, so the adjustments. So obviously we've had quite a few things happen this year, i.e. COVID bubbles and things. We're no longer in bubbles, so that's probably one of the biggest adjustments so far. However, we've also had some new things. Biggest one is Mr. Freeman. So Mr. Freeman, like I said, is here on placement from Derby University. He's going to be with us all the way until the beginning of July. He spent his first week in school this week and he's been meeting the children. So you may have some of your kids coming home saying that they've got a new teacher. This is the person who it is, it's Mr. Freeman. Now, Mr. Freeman, like I said, he is a student teacher, although he has been TA'd in schools in the past as well. So he's going to be holding smaller interventions as he gets further into his placement with children, just if they're struggling with something. And he's going to be holding little focus groups too, all as part of his placement. Another thing that's changed is carousel. So our carousel used to be put into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but last half term we actually trialled doing it all on one day just to see what happened, and the children absolutely loved it, didn't they, Mr. Joshi? They performed far better and they were more engaged in it too. So with that in mind, we've decided to make carousel happen all on one day, and that's going to be on a Monday morning, or a Monday, sorry. So when the children come in on the school on a Monday, they'll have their word study, and then they go straight into their carousel. So they stay in the classroom and the other teachers will come into the classroom and move about. I myself don't hold a carousel, so I go and support in year 6 whilst the other teachers come in. So that's another big change. The final one is that because obviously carousel has moved about and that's all day Monday, our PE time has changed as well. So now PE is going to be held on a Tuesday morning after word study with Kenny. And the focus this term is kicking at a target. So last term they were learning about how to kick and the art forms for it and how to, strike it with power. This term they're looking at kicking at a target specifically. Just got a couple of people entering now. Any questions on that, by the way? Sorry, I don't mean to speed through if I'm getting too fast. Awesome. Okay, so next part then is our topic. So our topic for this term is called The Wonders Will Never Cease. And it's all about the wonders of the world. So we're kind of going global with this topic. We've looked at fairy tales and they absolutely loved them, the fairy tales and myths and the legends. This time we're going a little bit more historical. There's going to be one mission per week and it's going to be focused across all the areas of the curriculum. So we're looking at science, maths, all of the different areas of the curriculum, but we're theming it around the 7 wonders. So the aim is that each mission is based around one wonder, and we're looking at where it's based geographically, the history behind it. We're going to throw some DT into that too, seeing if we can actually construct one of those wonders as well. It's a really exciting topic, and it's one that's gonna be quite geography based, because obviously it's in different countries and different continents all over the world, but it's one that they are quite excited about too, so it should be really, really good. We've got a couple missions coming up. So the one that's going to happen from next week is our geography one. We're going to be focusing on South America, so looking at in particular the Christ Redeemer in Brazil, getting some fact files about that and looking at the land around it too. Other ones we're going to be doing is researching, creating and presenting historical reports about ancient Egypt. So at the end of last term, we kind of did a reflection thing where I spoke to the kids and said, right, what have you enjoyed? What have you not enjoyed? How can we make it more fun, more creative, more enjoyable for you? And one of the things that they said they wanted to do was to use technology more and to be able to present their findings and things. So we've taken all their feedback and put it into their topic now. So one of them is that they're going to get the notebooks out, they're going to research ancient Egypt, and they're going to present their findings to the class, kind of like a news reporter. Another thing that they said that they really enjoyed was music. So we're getting them to compose a piece of music to explain the story of the Great Wall of China. I don't know if you know anything about the Wonder, but it's not a very simple, straightforward story. There's a lot of tragedy behind it too. We're getting them to be hands-on to construct some food chains, and we're going to be looking at some animals too, so that's going to be our science element. And then we're also going to be creating a puppet show theatre, and that's incorporating a little bit of history, so it's going to tell the story of ancient Greece, but it's also using science, so they're going to be using filters and torches and stuff to test out light and shadow, see if they can create them. So that's what the plan is for Topic. Our trip this term is going to be to Stonehenge, fingers crossed. It's going to be a residential, so in Key Stage 2 we try and do 1 residential per year, and this will be it. I'm still waiting to confirm the dates with the trip people, however it will be more towards the end of next half term. But like I said, you'll have letters and everything coming out towards that. It will be a residential, so we will be staying over, and we will have like an activity actually at Stonehenge, so learning about the stories of it, and actually able to see what and figure out should it be a wonder of the world or not. Okay, over in English then. We fit English into 2 parts. So we have the standalone English lessons, which happen after break time. But then we also try and fit English into Topic, because obviously they're writing, they're taking notes during that. So in Topic, we're going to be writing reports, and we're going to be doing recount texts. And then obviously just fitting as much as we can into Topic. In English lessons on their own, we're going to be focusing on fiction. So fiction means story writing. We're going to be doing visual poetry. So the visual poetry is going to be basically where they have to describe a wonder of the world without actually using its name. We're going to be creating some stories based on the Great Wall of China. So telling the story of how it was built from the perspective of a worker. And we're also going to be writing some letters, so a dilemma narrative, which is going to be based back in ancient Egyptian times. Now, usually what I would say at this point is that, you know, we're going to be looking at getting them to write faster and seeing how they can improve. This term in particular, we're really focusing now on spellings, the structure and the layout. What we found is that, not as just a year 4, but as a school as a whole, our spelling is something that needs to be improved. So we're really going down hard on the fact of using our phonetic knowledge to make sure our spellings are good and make sure we're applying it. So if the spellings, for example, a lot of the kids in the class sometimes do this, if the spelling's on the board, they'll look at it but then write it down wrong in their books. So it's just that understanding of, no, I don't want any pink pen in my work. So making sure we're editing on our own, our spellings are there, the structure's there, and also our layout is really clear. So that's what we're going to be focusing in English too. And like I said, you've got all 3 of us for this term. So we're going to be able to do more tailored support to really make sure that we're homing in on all those little things so that when they're ready to move up to year 5, they're more confident than what they came here with. Okay, so then in maths, this may look like an awful lot, but actually when you break it down, it's not too bad. Last term we covered multiplication and parts of division that we needed to for year 4, and they're really good and they're really strong on it. So moving forward, what we're doing is, because we've done a lot of big core math subjects so far, we're breaking it up now with some of the smaller ones. So next week we're going to start off with doing time. For time, what we need to do is be able to read time and to convert it. So for example, 60 seconds are in a minute, how many minutes are in an hour, how many days in a week, and so on. So we're going to be working on all of that next week. Then we're going to move on to some money, and we've got actual money that plastic money that we'll be able to use and manipulate. So for children who find it a little bit more harder writing on just a sheet, they're going to have the things there in front of them. We're going to do some properties of shape, so we're just looking at basically all types of shape, all the ones that we have to do for year 4. And then we move on to the big ones, so that's fractions and decimals, and that's going to be quite a large unit. It may be a little bit stressful for some of them because it will be some new things, but it's nothing that we can't work through together. So it's going to be a case of adding fractions with the same denominator, but because they are very solid on their addition and subtraction skills, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think where the difficulty will be is because you have to convert between fractions and decimals and percentages. So I think that will be probably the sticking point for some of them, but we've already got a plan for that. So it's absolutely nothing to worry about. What else have we got? Okay, yeah, on the back of maths, in June we've also got this is the multiplication check, and it's for year 4. Now I can't stress enough that it's not like SATs, it's not like GCSEs, it's not like an A levels where there's a pass mark. However, I would like them all to get a high score in it. So basically this will be done in June. Towards the end of it, I get to decide the date, so really just seeing when I think is ready for them, probably towards the latter of it. What will happen is the children will get an iPad, and on that iPad they will have 25 questions and a set amount of time, sorry, to answer them. So for example, they have like 2 times by 10 equals what, and then they have to fill in 20. We've got the iPads already, and we're going to start practicing the tests just so that this layout is familiar for them. But it's going to be timed, so again, it might be a little bit stressful for them, but what we're hoping is that by getting them prepped for it, we're feeding in more times tables now, that's going to mean that they don't freak out when they get it, because obviously it has to be in silence, it's like an exam type of thing. Like I said, the score won't affect them moving forward, but obviously you want them to have as high a score as you can, because multiplication's in an awful lot of things. It's going to help with fractions, it's going to help with division, especially when they move up to year 5 too. So the one thing that we're asking is that you support them at home. So literally the timetables all the way from the 1s to the 12s, if you can help just to practice them with them, do some hit the buttons, do some quickfire ones, whatever you would like to. Just help to keep refreshing them with them, because the faster they are, the quicker that recall, the easier they're going to find this test and the less stressed they're going to be about that. This is also on My School app, by the way, so if you wanted to get a closer look at it and to actually see what's going on and read it closely, I've put it on My School app. Okay, so yeah, like I said, the times tables one is quite a big one. We in school use something called Hit the Button. It's a free website, and we will do that probably about every evening before we line up to go outside, and they really enjoy it because it's a game, and that's the most important thing. We also have speed grids too, so if you want any of the resources that we use at school, please let me know and I can email them across, or I can print one out for you. It's absolutely not a problem. We also do something called times tables tennis. You may have heard your kids saying something about this, but basically every week we'll pick 1 times tables to focus on, and then we'll just do a round of times tables tennis in class, and the winner will get a little tennis ball with their name on it, and we can whack it on the door so they can go on the times tables tennis Hall of Fame. This week is the 6s, and we're going to do that tomorrow and practice it. So that's actually everything from us. I'm really sorry, because I do realise I sped super quick through all of that. But if you've got any questions, unmute and tell us, or if not, please feel free to go. But thank you very much for joining, and hopefully that all made sense to you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.